Bradley Avenue is the one always to say that there is no idea or opinions. Them always say there is no idea, Courtney. And them always say them not putting out no policy and them not sure that them ready for government. But tonight, Jamaica, didn't they show that they're ready for government? And that's not all. They haven't spoken on agriculture yet. They haven't spoken on tourism. There are so many aspects and areas they have not touched on. There are so many aspects and areas they have not touched on. You heard what I said? There are so many areas still untouched. And what we heard tonight, Jamaica, what we heard tonight tells you that we'll be in a better position for this country soon. And we're going to hold the People's National Party. We're going to hold the People's National Party to their word. Of course. But you know that our borders are not safe, Courtney. Our borders are not safe when illegal exotic animals are being smuggled. Illegal exotic animals are being smuggled in the country. The JDF put out a statement today that a cub is said to have gone missing in the Black River area.
What can go so?
A cub, it wasn't a zoo. It wasn't a zoo. And I'm getting to understand it's not a tiger. It is said to be an isolot or isolot. You know the cats that have the tiger print? Those big cats, Courtney, that have the tiger print. You know, isolot or isolot, they call them. No, ocelot. Ocelot. Missing. Ocelot is missing, Jamaica. And ocelot is missing. And those cats are very dangerous, you know. They're predatory in nature. Those cats are predatory in nature.
In the Black River.
In the Black River area.
Anybody see it?
And also it is being reported that monkeys and parrots, Jamaica, monkeys and parrots equally being illegally smuggled into the country. Where are these parrots, monkeys, and ocelots coming from? Where are these monkeys, parrots? Where are they coming from? Who carrying them into St. Elizabeth? Is Jamaica Zoo? Or if it is not Jamaica Zoo?
Somebody want to make a zoo?
Is that the port of entry, Courtney? Somebody said to me, Andre is from Honduras, you know. Somebody whispered to me today and said, Andre, years now them are illegally smuggled. The parrot them and the monkeys in the country. So apparently Jamaica is not just escape. Apparently Jamaica. You know what it makes me to wonder, Courtney?
Wow.
Could this be a trade-off? Drugs for animal trade-off?
Help. We key out of the letter.
We need your divine intervention.
Could this be a trade-off, Courtney?
Drugs for animals.
Could be Jamaica a trade-off? It's a serious question to ask tonight. Could it be, Courtney? Because you know that Jamaica marijuana,
Yeah. Highest grade.
St. Elizabeth people, highest grade, you know.
Highest grade.
And then them say, and you know the worst thing about it? We don't know if these animals coming in have diseases. We don't know if these animals that are coming in on the island are safe. I hope NEPA catch them. You see NEPA doing anything in this island? Only see NEPA doing anything in this island? Only see NEPA doing anything in this island that makes sense for us, the people of Jamaica. Are these animals vaccinated? Are these monkeys and parrots vaccinated? Is this ocelot that is on the run? People in St. Elizabeth, guard yourselves, because the ocelots might come after your chickens tonight.
They must hungry.
The ocelot must be hungry, and it is predatory in nature. Go and look up at Ocelot Jamaica and look how big they are. Courtney, I saw them long, you know. Saw them long. Produce, if you can find the picture of an ocelot. It looks like a tiger, but it forms out like a cheetah. So can you imagine tonight farmers going in them farm and just see something? Just jump on them. Goat, pig. Wanna say it not dangerous? Well, me no know about me no know. Me no know. Me no want know if it's dangerous or not. The kind of thing. Anything caught anywhere in the wild, me no want in near it. Just even if it is a cub, if the cub is not eating, Courtney, he's going to be hungry, and when he's hungry, he becomes predatory in nature.
Of course. Anything, foul, anything, you know.
So they foul them, you know, Courtney.
Of course.
Wanna say it's not a big cat? All right, I left it there, so. I just left it there, so Jamaica. I just left it there. But the government is now confirming that it is illegal for police to stop you and ask for your password.
Yeah.
So if the police stop you and say they want the password for your phone, it is illegal. Here the murderous commissioner today. Here the murderous commissioner today.
I've also communicated regarding the ticketing of running lights. Okay, if you look at the strict literature of the law itself, it allows certain things to happen, except the fact that these are lights that came with the vehicle and not necessarily placed on the vehicle. And so there is a little gray area there. And so what we have done, we have sent out communication to our members to desist from doing that. Desist from doing that is something that we need to look at in the legislation itself. But for the time being, we have instructed our members not to continue that practice. It's unfair to the motorists.
Unfair to the motorists. Listen to the other part of what was said today. Listen to this, Jamaica. I want Jamaicans to hear what was said today about the password business. Oh, it's not there. Oh, but according to them claim say it is now illegal. It's now illegal. It's now illegal to
also communicating.
I'll get back to that story, Jamaica. But the truckers, I don't think you're aware tonight that the truckers down wharf, the truckers down the wharf are growing weary. The truckers down the wharf. Listen to this. In 2015, the government of Jamaica signed a 30-year concession agreement with the French shipping company that operate and upgrade the Kingston terminal, right? At the time, a Chinese bid for the concession was rejected. However, in 2016, the French company transferred its interest to China Merchants Port, handing control of the terminal to the Chinese. Kingston Terminal officially took over operations on July 1, 2016. Under the arrangement, the company carried out several infrastructural upgrades, including the dredging of the harbor to accommodate large vessels, acquiring new cranes and container handling equipment, and improving some IT systems. Despite these improvements, the terminal is still plagued by several operational issues. The concession requires Kingston Terminal to meet performance standards, maintain security, and ensure profitability so that the Port Authority receives its revenue. However, by all accounts, the Kingston Freeport Terminal, here is this, and the goal of the agreement is to attract as many ships as possible to function as a major transshipment hub. If the current strike continues, it could have serious consequences for Jamaica. That said, concessions like this are not easy to revoke, so the government will need to engage the Kingston Freeport Terminal to resolve the issue. It's worth noting that the Kingston Wharf used for barrels and car is government-run and does not face the same problem. For your information, the next port up for tender is the Montego Bay Wharf. Hopefully that one won't fall into the Chinese hands. According to my source, the poor oversight and disorganized system at the port made it easier for drugs and goods to slip through. Since Jamaica is a transshipment hub where cargo is transferred between ships, this makes the country a key point for moving illegal goods. Listen to what the men are complaining about. Listen to what the men were striking about today down there.
We are here today because of the dwell time. Dwell time meaning from the time a truck a queue, the trucks are queuing now behind me. From the time a queue till we exit. Over a long period of time, and we have done some data study. It has been taking over 2 hours to do one move. A move in a container. We're supposed to be doing 10 containers a day. We're doing 3. We have been lobbying all the stakeholders. Port Authority, Kingston Freeport Terminal, Jamaica Customs Agency, and we have given them proposal that we believe can bring a shorter dwell time, possibly under an hour. But these have not been, they have been accepted, but the time it's taking for them to actually implement it is long. The executive of the Port Traders Association did not call this withdrawal of service. It was out of the frustration from our members. Because when we lobby and we meet and we come back, they say they're not getting anything, and the meetings are not working. So they are saying that we need to meet. We have a meeting scheduled by about 11:30 to speak with the stakeholders, to come back to the membership, to give them something so that they can resume the
Hear what I say? What a thing. What a thing. What a thing happening in the country.
A small boat.
What a thing happening in the country. Everybody just dispossessed and everybody having a problem in this country. Everybody having a problem in this country. It cannot continue like this.
Is an unusual.
It cannot continue like this. When I say Jamaica, it can't continue like this. And I am now being told that Montego Bay Freeport Terminal is now up for grabs. The Freeport Terminal in Montego Bay is up for grabs. What a thing, eh? What a thing, Courtney?
Terrible.
Everything in this country. Everything. But as I talk to you tonight, Jamaica, I want to remind you about something. The Electoral Commission of Jamaica. Because apparently there is ambiguity as to how this ECJ matter is going to be handled. There is ambiguity as to how this ECJ matter is going to be handled. Listen to this, Jamaica.
The Electoral Commission of Jamaica, ECJ, has been facing mounting pressure in recent times to release the name of the individual who is responsible for dealing with political misconduct. In a statement Saturday evening, the ECJ confirmed the establishment of a dedicated unit within its office tasked with coordinating the activities of the Office of the Political Ombudsman, including implementing mechanisms for accepting, processing, and responding to complaints from the public. That unit is headed by the ECJ's Registrar of Political Parties, Lofren Thompson. According to the release, she will be the chief liaison between the public and the ECJ's members, who together constitute the political ombudsman. The ECJ is advising members of the public to submit complaints of breaches of the political code of conduct in writing through the online complaints portal on the ECJ's website or via email or hand delivery to the Office of the Political Ombudsman at 46 Duke Street, Kingston. It further states that since the commencement of the current campaign period, only one complaint in relation to the placement of signs in Montego Bay has been received so far. Now, since assuming the role in February 2024, the ECJ says it has undertaken the functions of the political ombudsman using the resources allocated for the administration of the ECJ's operations. No additional funding has been provided for carrying out those activities. Additionally, the ECJ says the unit has commenced a review of the existing political code of conduct. It has also implemented mechanisms for accepting reports on breaches of the political code of conduct, including an online portal to accept reports including photographs, audio, and video recording via the ECJ's website, and a dedicated email address and telephone line, as well as the toll-free and WhatsApp number through the Electoral Office of Jamaica to get information. The ECJ says it has also written to the General Secretaries of political parties regarding the the removal of flags and paraphernalia following the local government elections. It has also prepared for future implementation a public education program on the role of the political ombudsman and the importance of citizen participation. It further says that it has established a network of law enforcement officers across the island to assist in the execution of the law. The ECJ says it takes the Political Ombudsman Act seriously as political conduct does impact the democratic process.
What levels of confusion and ambiguities? Listen to that level of confusion, Jamaica. It is so confusing. It is very confusing because apparently not even the person who must be carrying out the functions understand what she should be doing. It's a confusing process. Why you not just establish back the office of the ombudsman?
Yeah.
Why put the person and the office into all of that chaos? Why put the person and the office through all of that chaos? Why put the office or that person through all that chaos? Every day Jamaica surely a keep. But you know how me know Jamaica really a keep? When I see how Jamaica accept Alice. When I see how Jamaica accept back Alice. Look how Alice broad off. Look here.
Alice Waugh is back at Crab Circle.
Feels good, alright. Them greet me nice and good. I say, Alice, me glad to see you come back.
Alice Waugh is back at Crab Circle.
Feels good, alright. Them greet me nice and good. I say, Alice, me glad to see you come back.
Waugh, who was at the center of a public health breach in October 2023 that triggered the closure of the popular food spot, was seen for the first time in almost 2 years. Her presence, however, triggered more questions from a concerned public. Waugh was fined $250,000 by a judge in June 2024. She was placed on a 2-year probation. However, the chief health inspector says the court did not ban her from practicing in the food trade. And so, Alice, who says she's now atoned, has returned to her spot.
What is she been going to? It's going good. Them fine, I'm going fine. So all of them come back together and start by again. Come to come back, the place get live, enough car come now. I get car said we are, then me say, the place dead. I was still at work with it and from to come me start car just a rolling. Look on the car them are rolling, nothing now man.
But at least one vendor who didn't want to speak on camera says Alice's return was unexpected. After rebuilding her decades-old customer base, she fears business will be halted yet again. Ms. Waugh's return was seemingly unknown to the CEO of the Kingston and St. Andrew Municipal Corporation, Robert Hill, as well. The KCMC grants all vending permits. However, Mr. Hill could not say whether an application was submitted for Alice Waugh recently.
My God. So Alice was the one where carried the crowd and the swing.
What can go so?
So Alice, you know them say from Alice come Kiara drive up back a Crab Circle. Them say she a carry the swing Courtney.
Everybody want to meet Alice. I see Alice.
Hey!
How come you see Alice?
No Courtney.
No.
And what she a use? Ailawa.
I don't know.
Courtney them say. For the 2 years Alice gone, and the first them see so much Cara Crab Circle.
Help, we Tiada the
We
Lateral.
need your divine intervention. We're tired.
No, Courtney. Hey! Courtney,
Yes, teacher.
can you believe that Alice a carry the swing for Crab Circle? Alice Jamaica. Can you believe? But not surprised. And Jamaica, them a go buy it.
Of course.
Cause them a buy it, them a endorse it. Me.
They can't send me down, let me now go.
Yes. Can you believe Alice in such land?
But catch.
Alice in such land.
I'm the police.
Alice in such is a but you know what? It speaks to how we as a country operate. It speaks to the standards of the country. It speaks to the standards of the country.